How's it going, everybody? It is Pilot Flame, and we are back with another FPL stream here on Twitch. And yeah, Game Week 18, free hitters. What are we saying? Because me personally, I don't think the free hit was worth it. Arsenal getting just a 0-0. I mean, if you went with a lot of defenders, if you went with like a 4-4-2 or like a 5-4-1 or a 4-5-1, you probably did okay, maybe. You know, there wasn't very many, like, crazy good scores. You know, Diaz got 7, Cancelo got 6, Holding got 6. Tierney didn't play. Everyone bigging up Lacazette. Everyone knows my opinion on him. I thought he was a good free hit player, but I thought that the players that the teams that he was playing against weren't too good. And guess what? Got hooked after 70 minutes, and they didn't score a goal versus Crystal Palace, who had conceded 7 to Liverpool. Which is a bit interesting, and I don't expect that to be the same for Man City when they go to play them. Zaka says he's got 57 points. Again, I didn't play my free hit. I only played with 6 players. So we'll actually go through the calculation what I was having before on the deadline stream when I chose not to play it, and we'll see how I did basically on that. So. If you haven't done so already, make sure to give us a follow over on this platform on Twitch. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. It's free to do. Just go and hit the button. Go over to Twitch, PilotFlame226, hit follow. Go over to the YouTube channel, hit subscribe. Go over to Twitter, hit follow as well. It's PilotFlame226 on all platforms. I made it real easy for you, so make sure to do that. So yeah, without further ado, let's see how we did in Game Week 18, the blank Game Week. So, this is the team up on the screen. As you can see, little red arrow. So we went from, I think we went down like almost or thereabouts 100k places. Now, for playing 6 players, I'm going to take that every day of the week. I thought I was going to end up in the 2 millions, 3 millions from this free hit week. But if you look at our team did pretty good overall. And once we finish doing the predictions and stuff like that, I'm going to keep the notepad up, and I'm actually going to go through the calculations of who I would have brought in and that sort of stuff. Because I was thinking about, getting rid of Robertson for another hit to bring in Wan-Bissaka, who ended up with 6 points. So that would have got me an additional 2 points because of the 4-point hit. And would have freed up some funds to do other things. But again, didn't know if United was going to keep a clean sheet, to be perfectly honest. Who else? Everyone was picking up Lacazette. He only ended up with 2 points. Wilson only ended up with 2 points. Got matched by Chris Wood, the infamous Chris Wood. Brought in a goalkeeper for a hit, which didn't play, which was a bit unfortunate. But future-proof for us for this game because he's almost certainly going to play. I'm pretty sure Aston Villa will have a full-strength team versus City when they go to play. Because everyone will have their isolation period. Maybe some players might be more affected than others, and we still don't even know who actually contracted COVID, so we'll see on that front. But how's it going, Zodiac? Hope you did good this game week as well. I'm happy with it. 100k red arrow. That may seem stupid, but I'm actually happy with that. So if we look at the players that I did have, so I had Diaz, Cancelo, Holding, all got clean sheets. Diaz getting a bonus point. A lot of people captained De Bruyne. He was a better captaincy option than Fernandes, who was, in my opinion, the only 2 captaincy options this week. If you captained Kane, well, you did quite good. If you captained Son, bit unlucky. And then Chris Wood got 2 points as well. One thing to note is that Fernandes picked up his 4th yellow card. So, if he gets a yellow card in either the Liverpool game or the Fulham game, he will be suspended for a game. But after that, the cap is increased to 10. So once you hit 19 games played, so every team will have played 17, well, should have played 17 games. Once at least one team has played 19 games, after that set of fixtures, it's up to 10 yellow cards. Yeah, don't captain Fernandes in double game week. Or you can even go the exact opposite, and you can just go, you know what? Maybe Fernandes is smart enough, because he's like Jack Grealish, right? Both him and Jack Grealish have 4 yellow cards. I'm pretty sure 3 of them for each player have been because they've been doing too much of this to the referee. Actually, it's just for dissent, really. So if they keep their gob shut, they should be okay. But we'll see. But yeah, overall, I'm definitely happy with the game week. If we'll go into what my free hit team would have been, we can compare the points and that sort of stuff too. But So I'll keep that tab open. In terms of our predictions, let's see how we did. Don't think I did well this week, but we'll see. Oh no, I did do well. I got the Wolves Everton fixture right. Beautiful. So this week we would have had a potential, what is it? It would have been 18 points. So let's see how we did. So Newcastle we predicted to win 2-0. They ended up losing 1-0, giving Sheffield United their first win of the season. So Chris Wilder's man will be happy about that. United 2-0 win over Burnley ended up being 1-0, so we get 1 point for that. Wolves versus Everton, got the exact score right, so we get 3 points. City getting a win over Brighton, we predicted 3-0, ended up being 1-0, so 1 point there. Aston Villa Tottenham. Now, can I take the 3 points for this? Because technically they didn't play, but the game that was played, the Spurs played, they still ended up 1-1. Take 2 points? Yeah, I'll take 2 points. Why not? So I got the exact score right, but it wasn't the exact fixture. And then Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. Crystal Palace did not win. Newcastle didn't keep a clean sheet. Darlow didn't keep a clean sheet. Maguire did. Foden scored, and Benteke did not. So we got 2 out of 5. And we would end up with 2, 3, 4, was it 7? So not too bad. So we would have got 7 points out of 6 fixtures, so we could have potentially got more. Yeah, if you don't know how the scoring works, basically you get the exact score right. So like how I did for Wolves versus Everton, you get 3 points. If you get the exact result right, so had I predicted just like in the Man United game, I predicted a Man United win, then I get 1 point. If you get the result otherwise wrong, no points. But 7 points, I'll definitely take that. Surprise of the week, people would say Sheffield United winning over Newcastle. To be honest, I wasn't really surprised. Thought they played quite well. They looked up for it. They looked, feisty. Newcastle came up with the wrong tactics. So I'm not really sure what they were going for. They kind of just sat back and did a whole bunch of nothing. Everton getting a much needed win over Wolves after they don't have Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison, arguably their 2 best players in the team, but they're full strength everywhere else. Dinia's back in there. And looking good, got an assist. Keane getting another goal. They're doing quite well. And could end up in a European place by the end of the season. City getting another clean sheet. I believe that's like 4 in their last, or 5 in their last 6 or something stupid. Let's see. So if I go to Ruben Diaz, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 in their last 6. And 6 in their last 8, which is nuts. So quite good for City, to be honest. So yeah, definitely interesting there. Spurs again. This is why I don't like having Kane and Son, where I keep flip-flopping in my head whether I should have Kane and Son personally. It's because Spurs don't score more than 2 goals and haven't done since like when they played versus United, which was back in like game week 4 or something, really. And they like when Mourinho gets 1 goal, his team just sits back. Whether it's Son or Kane, if one scores and one assists the other, then okay, sure, whatever. But like Fulham showed that if you put a little bit of pressure on the Spurs team, they will crack. So, and Arsenal, as I mentioned last week, I figured that Crystal Palace would give them a game. Crystal Palace definitely had chances to win the game, as did Arsenal. So I think a draw is a fair result overall. So nothing really too surprising this week, apart from the fact that all the people that were, the main features of this game week was going to be Wilson's going to do damage for Sheffield United, only 2 points. Lacazette's going to score versus Palace, only 2 points. Kane and Son are going to go nuts. Well, Kane got a goal and some bonus, but Son didn't get anything. Only 2 points. Man City were going to blast Brighton. They only won 1-0, so the clean sheets looked quite good. United were going to probably draw or lose to Burnley. United ended up winning. A lot of people thought that United would win. But again, if you follow Manchester United, you know that Burnley is a team that is just one of United's kryptonite. We don't do well versus Burnley, period. It's Burnley, it's West Brom, it's West Ham. Those 3 teams are just like, and Wolves are just they're really, really tricky for United for whatever reason. Same with City and Southampton. They're just like, City just sometimes find a bit difficult versus Southampton. Yeah, it isn't. Yeah, KDB could have had a ridiculous. Also, Mahrez missed a chance for Cancelo as well. It could have been a lot more points for City. Could have been a lot more points for Man City. Could have been crazy. But it is what it is. This week, however, we got a lot more fixtures to predict. So this could be quite interesting. This could be quite interesting indeed. So let's bring across our big list. Yeah, Cancelo could have scored as well. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. So Wolves versus West Brom here. I think this should be pretty straightforward. I think it should be a Wolves win. Probably a low-scoring win. Do Wolves keep a clean sheet? Again, they've had injuries. I don't think they keep a clean sheet. But it is West Brom, though. I'm just gonna go 1-0. I'm just gonna go 1-0. Zaka's going with a 2-0. So, again, yeah, probably 1-0 is probably gonna be about right. Leeds versus Brighton. This could be quite interesting. I don't expect a clean sheet in this game for either team. Zaka's going with another 2-0. I think it's going to be like a 3-1. I think Leeds are going to do a lot of damage. They create more chances than Man City do. I think they create the most chances in the league. It's just they miss a lot. So if you're looking to still bench boost, I'm still wavering on the bench boost, whether to use it or not. I think that you know, 3-1 could be quite a good scoreline for the likes of the Leeds assets. Maybe Rafinha, maybe Bamford finally scores. Rodrigo could be involved. I know some people have him. I still have him, but I could be getting rid of him for a certain Antonio, who has Burnley in his first fixture, which is being played at the same time. Something tells me that I want to go for a similar way to how they played out versus Brighton. 0-0, very cagey, and then one of the teams is going to nick a goal. And I think that team's going to be West Ham. Because I think that their team, 4-0 West Ham, I don't think it's going to be that many. I think it's going to be very low scoring. I think it's going to be low scoring, personally. I think this game's going to play out very similarly to how kind of like Brighton and West Ham played out, where both teams not really creating too much. Antonio 4 goals would be wicked, though. If it's 4-0 and Antonio scores 4 goals and I brought him in, then by all means, I'll take that. Because I didn't have him for when he played versus Norwich and scored 4. So that would have been great. But I think that's how this game's going to play. It's going to be very cagey. Both teams are very solid defensively. Not really going to give away too much. You know, Antonio's going to have to deal with 2 strong center backs. You know, and Burnley aren't going to beat West Ham for pace. And I think West Ham will probably try to put it on them and make them and force Burnley back, and that's going to probably play in the Burnley's hands. It's going to be probably pretty straightforward until they have to make substitutions, and that's probably where the game's going to open up a little bit. And I think it favors West Ham just slightly. Fulham versus Chelsea. I mean, Fulham look good. This is a London derby. Fulham's at home. You know, they're just coming off a nice point versus Spurs, and they need points. You think 3-1 Fulham is going to win versus Chelsea? Or is that 1-3 as in like Chelsea's going to win? Oh, 3-1 Chelsea. Okay. 1-3. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes a little bit more sense. I think it's probably a little bit closer than that. I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. And I think they're not going to keep a clean sheet because I think Fulham it looks, you know, quite good on crosses versus Spurs, who have been somewhat good defensively, but are susceptible to that. Chelsea are as well defensively. So it could be interesting. Leicester versus Southampton. I think that, you know, being this is the only game of the week for Southampton, I don't think Southampton actually score in this game. And the reason being is because apparently Danny Ings tested positive, so he's not going to be able to play. Che Adams has looked kind of, you know, off it a little bit. And Southampton have kind of struggled for goals. And Leicester are quite, I think they're okay at defending set pieces, but I think they're going to have pretty much full strength in this one. I'm going to go with a Leicester 2-0 win because Leicester have been looking quite good. Saka's going with a 1-1. Overall, I think it's still going to be a competitive game. I think Southampton will have chances. I just don't think that they're going to be, you know, able to basically capitalize on those without the likes of Danny Ings. So we will see. Sheffield United versus Tottenham. I think, personally, Sheffield United, the way they played against Newcastle, if they put that kind of pressure on Spurs, they could score early. But again, I think Spurs is probably going to be a bit too much for them. Zach is going with a 3-0. I think it's going to be 2-0. Probably Kane goal, Son assist, Son goal, Kane assist. Probably something stupid like that. I don't have them. I don't care about Spurs players right now. I only care about double game week players personally. Liverpool versus Man United. I'm going to skip over that one. Because that's the tastiest fixture out of all of them in terms of highlight of the week. So we're going to skip over that one. Man City versus Palace. I think Man City's going to win comfortably. I think 3-0. I think they're going to score a few in this one. I'm going to skip over the Liverpool Man United one. I'm going to come back. Zach has gone with 4-0. I can definitely see it. I mean, Liverpool scored 7. Crystal Palace is away from home, so they're a bit more resilient away from home, as they showed tonight versus Arsenal. Arsenal versus Newcastle. Probably an Arsenal clean sheet in this one. Their defense has been looking quite nil. Zach is going with a 2-0. I think a 2-0 is probably makes sense, honestly. I'm going to go with that as well. They didn't score any versus Palace, but Palace were well organized. Newcastle are not. So, and they give away stupid free kicks all the time because Hayden just doesn't know how to not get booked, basically. And I think they were way too defensive versus Sheffield United. So, I think that that's something they're gonna have to pay attention to. West Ham versus West Brom. Clean sheet for West Ham, I think. 2-0. 4-0 West Ham. If Antonio scores 8 goals in this game week, genuinely, even if he scored 4 goals, I would probably shave all the hair off my head. But I mean, I cut my hair close anyway to begin with, so it wouldn't be much of a difference. But that would be insane. If Antonio scored 8 goals this week and you had him like captained, that would be the most nuts game week. How many points is that? How many points is that actually? So what's that? So if he scores 8 goals, so 8 times 4 is 32. He gets 2 points for playing, so that's 34. He gets 2 points for playing again, that's 36. He gets 3 bonus points, that's 39. He gets 3 bonus points, that's 42. He would get 84 points if you captained Antonio this week. That would be crazy. That would be stupid crazy. Might just do it. Maybe Suchek as well. Who knows? Leicester versus Chelsea. I think this is going to be close. I think that Leicester can, be quite organized. At home, they haven't been as good, against the bigger sides. I think the only was against City. Zach has gone with a 2-1 win for Chelsea. I think Leicester might give them a tough game. I think it might be a little bit back and forth. I'm going to go with a 1-1. I think that both teams have the ability to score. But I think that Leicester, being at home, may have the onus on them. Chelsea, when they're able to sit in and counter, 1-1 is probably about right because they're able to sit in. They'll probably have, a full-strength team, obviously. I only say that because you support Chelsea. That would make sense. Now you got to back your team. Chelsea haven't had a good vein of form recently, but it would be just like them to go out and blitz teams this week when nobody's even considering their assets. Even though one of my differential picks is Christian Pulisic, which you'll see in a second, who's in the video that I posted yesterday as well. So he could be an option. Man City versus Villa. This could be quite tough for Man City. I think Villa will have a full-strength team. I think they'll have a full-strength team versus Newcastle as well. Because when Man City play Villa, that is the 20th of January. So if I check the last time when Aston Villa played. So the last time Aston Villa played was, well, obviously it was the 3rd round of the FA Cup. But a couple of days before that, so on the 6th, which would have been exactly 2 weeks ago, from the game when they go to play Man City, would have been the last time that like the rumors of that like they wanted to change the game and all that sort of stuff. Well, you say Villa with fresh legs, but it could also be worse. It could be the exact opposite. Less momentum, haven't played, lack of fitness. Some people may be affected by COVID, you know, all sorts of things. I think Villa probably won't be as sharp. They haven't been able to train as much. But I think they're going to be back in training at the start of the week. So they'll have a couple of days training for that. Obviously, they're probably still doing fitness stuff at home if they can. So I don't think Villa's actually going to score, unfortunately, in this game. I think City's probably going to win a professional 2-0. I think that's how it's going to go. I think Villa just probably might lack a little bit of sharpness. I think City keeps a clean sheet, which would mean City would keep 2 clean sheets in the week. 2-1, I think 2-1 is probably a safer one. I think that just Villa's fitness may be a little bit in question. Maybe, you know, a little bit, you know, one of those things where just not having that much training underneath your belt, you know, causes a situation where they're just not as sharp. Stones will give Grealish a penalty. Maybe. Makes sense. He's due for a mistake, right? Fulham versus Man United. Now, Fulham going to try to put the pressure on United. United should be able to deal with that. Do United keep a clean sheet? Maybe. But probably not. I think United will get back to scoring ways. I can see this game being like 2-0 United. Maybe they score 1, and then United gets a third to like finish off the game or whatever. That's what I think the score is going to be. Liverpool versus Burnley. I think they win this game quite easily. I think 2-0 is probably comfortable against teams that really sit back. Liverpool can struggle, but I think they'll find one, make Burnley come out and get the last goal later on. Liverpool 3-0 for Xhaka. Zodiac consider a 1-1 in Fulham, so Fulham versus Man United. I mean, maybe. I mean, if Bruno's suspended, maybe. If he gets booked in the Liverpool game, which we still have yet to do. Aston Villa, I think they'll have a game under their belt. They'll have more training. And I think Newcastle are just that bad that I think Villa should be able to beat them comfortably. I was exactly gonna say the same thing. I think Villa wins the game 3-0. Now, Martial's probably out, and Cavani's kind of yikes. No, Cavani is... So, there's a famous clip of the way Van Persie talks about how Sir Alex played around him. So Van Persie's very similar. Great movement, but he's not necessarily the fastest player, right? So what Sir Alex said, he told the midfielders, he goes, you guys need to get the ball to him. You guys need to get the ball to him. You need to figure out the way he runs, where he's comfortable. Because at the end of the day, if he's comfortable, that means he's going to score. And if he scores, that means we win. So that's kind of the way it's gonna work. I think Cavani could do quite well versus Liverpool, and actually he's one of my differential picks for the double game week if Martial is out. Mind you, I have that caveat as well. Martial is the biggest flop in Premier League ever. No, I definitely wouldn't say that. I would say that potentially your 80 million and 60 million Germans potentially could be on that route. But no, that's just joking. I think I picked Werner to win the Golden Boot at the start of the season, but obviously that's not looking like it. Maybe for next season though. And obviously Kai Havertz was affected by COVID as well. Yeah, I mean, Martial he always naturally floats out to the left-hand side, but he likes to play that like intricate 1-2 on the edge of the box and then like go to win a penalty or like tuck it in the bottom corner. I think Martial would be the perfect player with another striker up top. Like Martial is kind of similar to Werner in a sense, sort of, where he kind of needs another like forward up there with him, which is why him and Rashford, interchange so well. So we will see. All right, we've been waiting for it. The big one: Liverpool versus Man United. How do I think this game's gonna go? Well, unfortunately, I don't really want to predict this game, because I think that Liverpool, the results, how they've had it, I think it's like high 60s or low 70s number of wins in a row, or like unbeaten games they've had at Anfield in a row. So it's pretty crazy. They've been hit by injuries, and I'm kind of leaning with you guys. I think 1-1 is probably about what's going to happen. Pretty similar to how the game was at Old Trafford last season, where it was a 1-1. I think 1-1 is about right. If United go to Anfield, so basically what Ferguson always preaches, well, Sir Alex Ferguson, he said that basically what you need to do against the bigger sides, you win your home games, you take a point at least away from home. Obviously, you're not going to win every game, but if you can get wins at home and you can get at least a point away from home, you give yourself that more of a chance. And I think United needs to probably go back to the way they were playing, early doors, where they just sit back and then they counterattack. Because if they do that, they can definitely hurt Liverpool. Trent Alexander-Arnold is in awful form. United will probably look to attack down our left-hand side, their left-hand side. Or not their left-hand side, their right-hand side, which is our left-hand side, which is Trent's side. Whereas Liverpool's going to do the exact opposite. They're going to do the exact same, which is going to be the opposite side of the field. So in order for us to get the ball to, like, Rashford, as an example, he's playing on the left, is we have to switch it out there, because they're going to use Robertson as much as they can, and they're going to say, like, Trent, you can't get caught out of position because Rashford's going to blow by you. So, fun fact: last time United lost away is the 20th of January against Liverpool. Yeah, maybe, but this is the 17th of January. Gotcha. That is going to be played on. So, also 2021, 21 trophies for United. Maybe. You know what? Screw it. I'm going reckless here. 2-1 in 2-1. That's what we're doing. 2-1 and 2-1. Why not? It's only a prediction. It's probably going to end up 1-1 anyway. And then I'm going to lose myself 3 points on my predictions. I'm definitely looking forward to it as well. And that's going to be our tactics talk for this week, for sure. United away to Fulham on January 20th. Yeah. I mean, you could beat Liverpool all you want, but if you lose straight to Fulham afterwards, that's just not it, basically. So, yeah. Clean sheet this week, pretty straightforward. Man City. And then our differentials for this week, I've gone with Areola. He plays Man United and he plays Chelsea. He could get some save points, and I think he's going to be quite close in the Chelsea game. He could definitely get some save points. He might be on for better points because, he showed that he's a very capable goalkeeper, unlike Johnston, who I currently have. I think Areola might end up with more points than Johnston, which a lot of people flock to. Differentials for defense, Harry Maguire should have had a goal versus Burnley. Not sure why that's allowed. Or like to be why it was not allowed, I should say. Refereeing in the game was pretty awful, all things considered, but I think he could be quite good. Again, he's the same situation as Bruno, so it is a risk. If he gets a yellow in the Liverpool game, he can't play in the Fulham game. So, Christian Pulisic, he's played, I think, 90 minutes in 4 of the last 5 games, and in that 5th game, he played 83 minutes, so I think he should be a very good pick. And then Antonio is obvious for obvious reasons. I don't even know what ownership he's actually at right now. 3.8%, so technically he is still a differential. So yeah, looking quite good. So yeah. Let's see, Zodiac. I'm considering this as my Game Week 19 team. 4-5-1, Martinez, James. Is that James is in like James from Chelsea? I assume it is because you have Justin next to him. Diaz, Kufal, Barnes, Salah, Fernandez, De Bruyne, triple captain, Souček, and then Antonio, and then you bench Dallas, Bamford, and Watkins. Any thoughts? Seems good to me. In my opinion, would I play? So basically the decision you have here is, because I think the weak link out of all of those is Reece James going to be one fit, and two, is Chelsea's vein of form worrying? Because Chelsea haven't kept a clean sheet in a few games. Fulham could give them a tough game and they could score, and then the reverse Leicester have been in good form. So basically you're looking at, because I think Justin's pretty nailed on, got 2 home fixtures, should be good. Diaz, he's Diaz, Kufal, makes sense. Your midfielders are all going to play. Antonio's obviously going to play. So then it's the choice of, do you play Dallas over James? Probably not, because I think that Dallas has 1 fixture and James has 2. But I think Bamford could potentially outscore James over 2 fixtures. Because if Bamford scores and James doesn't get a clean sheet, then he only ends up with 4. And then you could play Watkins over James. I can also transfer out James for Stones also. That seems good to me, personally. If that's not for a hit, then yeah, that's definitely perfectly fine. I would say wait for the press conferences, though. If you still have enough money to do it, I would say just like I'm gonna wait for the press conferences as long as possible, to see what the news is on if we get any from Aston Villa. Because obviously I have Martinez. But again, I would assume they're gonna be fine. I think this is the reason why they pushed the Everton game out and made it so they have enough time to play. Because like I said, it would be literally 2 weeks, since the outbreak happened, at least. So they should be alright. But yeah, the Stones one looks good. Double City defense. It would bring your City up to triple. The only thing is that you can say maybe you already have Watkins there, so maybe you can play Watkins over James, but it's a bit tricky, that one. I think definitely Justin, Diaz, and Kufal are definitely playing in that team. And then obviously your midfielders and Antonio. My Gameweek 19 team is with the bench boost, so you have Meslier and McCarthy. Those both two fine goalkeepers, because Meslier could keep a clean sheet or get some saves versus Brighton. So it's okay. Cancelo, Cresswell, Kufal, Chilwell, and Stones, all double game week players. Looks good. I think Chilwell is definitely better than James, because I think he's going to definitely play both games. And I think he's just been playing better. Then we got KDB captain, Salah, Saka, Son, Rafinha, Antonio, Kane, and Bamford. So basically you would be bench boosting Meslier, Bamford, Saka, and Rafinha. So you would be bench boosting basically a whole bunch of players that are single game weeks. But that lineup would include selling Son and Kane for -4, the 4-5-1. Oh, so who would you be selling, Zodiac? Kane only has a single game week too. So if you're bench boosting, you have to think about it this way, Zaka. You're bench boosting for basically Bamford, Rafinha, Rafinha, Kane, Meslier? Sounds about right. So you're selling Kane. So you're selling Kane and Son, but who are you bringing in? That's the question, Zodiac. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Can't sit with 3 leads, plus Saka at home to Newcastle on the bench. Yeah, I mean that's true. It's not a bad bench boost, to be fair. Oh, for Watkins and KDB. If you're gonna bring in Watkins though, and you're triple captaining, I guess it doesn't really matter who you bring in. Because if you're not bench boosting, you can do some different things there as well. I don't know how much money you have in the bank, but you could potentially downgrade James to somebody like Mitchell, who's like 3.9. That gets you like $1 million in a bit. If you have an extra $1 million or so in the bank, you can go from Son straight to KDB. potentially. Bench boost would be McCarthy, Bamford, Rafinha, and Saka. No, it would be you would put, in theory, you would put your single game week players. So it would be Meslier, Bamford, Rafinha, and Saka. So you'd be bench boosting 4 single game week players. Actually, no, McCarthy is a single game week. What am I talking about? Yeah, so I mean, I forgot that he has a single game week. I mean, it's okay. I mean, Bamford could get a goal. Let's look at it this way. How much is a bench boost worth? So if you take a bench boost, you want to get probably, I would say a okay bench boost is 15 points. A good bench boost is 20 points, and anything above that, you're looking real good, and that's without hits like taken into consideration. Yeah, 15 is about average. So if you had a full double game week bench, right? Let's say a goalkeeper gets 4 points because 2 and 2. Let's say he doesn't keep any clean, so we're going with like minimum-ish. 4 points for him, 4 points for a forward, 4 points. So you're looking at 16 points if all of them had a double game week. So it increases your chances. But if Bamford gets a goal, let's say Bamford gets a goal, maybe he gets a bonus point or 2. Let's say we'll give him a bonus point. So Bamford gets 7. McCarthy, concedes but gets a save point. That's 3. That's 10. Rafinha, let's say he only gets 2. That's 12. And then Saka maybe gets an assist or something like that. You're looking at 15 plus anyway, so that's not too bad. Yeah, they can both score 1 or 2 as well. So, it's up to you personally. Me personally, I think it's a bit weak, and you could probably get away. I don't know what chips you have left either, so that's another thing. Yeah, if you get goal assist out of one of those players, then you're looking good. Because then you're looking at, bonus points. That right there, like if Rafinha got like goal assist, that's 8 points just from what he did. But again, you have to consider your hit as well. So if I got 20 points from my bench boost, but I took a -8, I would say that bench boost wasn't very good. Because it's only 12 points net. But again, it all depends on who the hit's for. So if the hit was for like De Bruyne as an example, -4 to get Antonio and Stones. Yeah, I think that's probably okay. So it's effectively a -2. So that's kind of what you have to consider. Consider it like a -2 points when you go to calculate your bench boost. So if you got 17 points from your bench boost, it's probably, it's probably okay, I would say. But yeah, looking at my team, I have, Martinez got a double, Robertson, Diaz, Cancelo, Kufau got doubles, Salah, Fernandez, De Bruyne, Rafinha, and Souček. Rafinha and Bamford don't have doubles, obviously. So as it stands right now, if I were to change some stuff around, so I would do I would run with that team as it stands now. Still not entirely sure if I'm going to bench boost. I'm still going to wait and see. Obviously, you could turn the bench boost on and off until the game week deadline hits. But like if I were to get rid of Rodrigo, I could get rid of him for Antonio and still have 0.2 left. So it's not the end of the world. I need to sleep. I work in 5.5 hours. Thanks for streaming. I got a busy day ahead of me tomorrow too. Believe it or not. But yeah, you watch the rest tomorrow. Cool, dude. Make sure to come back for the deadline stream as well. We will be doing one of those. What is the deadline? 5 a.m. EST. Nice. Because I'm 1 hour ahead of EST. But yeah, thank you for popping by, Zodiac. No worries. Yeah, I know it's a bit early for some people, or a bit late, depending on what time zone you are. But yeah. No worries. Well, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to check to see what my what my just gonna put this into a tweet really quick though. Just so I don't lose it. Okay, so move that out of the way. All right. So is that 8:30 in the morning, the Wolves game? 8:30 in the morning my time, yeah. So I'm 1 hour ahead of Eastern Standard Time. So I'm 4 hours behind UK time. Yeah, so some mornings can be so like on the Sunday when they have one they usually have an earlier game than the Spurs Sheffield United one here. It's usually 8 in the morning. It was even worse when I was at university, because when I was at university it's I was 1 hour I was EST time. So these games would be 7:30. The Sunday games were 7 o'clock. So yeah, you guys have it nice and easy. You know, nice European times. It's nice. It's only like 1 hour after. You know. So. But yeah. So yeah, let's take a look at what I would have picked. So I would have gone on my free hit team. I would have gone Guaita, because I mentioned him. He would have got 10. Diaz, Cancelo, and Holding I would have all gone with, so that would have been the same. De Bruyne, Fernandez, Son would have got me 2. Zaha would have got 3. Eze would have also got 3. I would have gone with Wilson, who got the same as Wood, so again, that breaks even. And then Kane would have got me 8, I think. Is football even a thing up there? Football's a thing all around the world. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Yeah, Erling Haaland is a bit nuts, and I wish he would have signed for United. But I have a funny suspicion that he's probably going to sign for City in like a year. Because his didn't his dad play for City? Something like that. See you later, Zodiac. So yeah, my free hit would have bought me an extra 18, 20, 26 points overall. So is that worth it? Maybe, but again, 26 points over 5 players. You're looking at just over 5 points a player. So maybe. But again, not really, you know, too crazy about it. I think I could definitely get better value, because again, the majority of the points, if you look at the players, so yeah, Guaita would have got 10 because I would have picked. That's who I would have picked, and he would have been the highest scoring player out of all of them. But if you look at the rest of them, Son only 2, Zaha would have got 3, Eze would have got 3. I'm not sure if they got booked, so I'm just assuming they got 3. Kane got 8, okay, so he would have probably been a better captaincy shout, but Diaz, Cancelo, Holding, I was going to go with those 3 anyway. I don't think I had Tierney in the draft because Holding was was cheaper, and that's how I could get the value in the team. So overall, I think I did. I think I made out okay by not free hitting, so which is not bad. Have they updated the game? No, they haven't. But yeah, some potential transfers I could be doing. So I'm thinking of Rodrigo out, keep Bamford, just because Rodrigo can get hooked early. Obviously, bring in the mighty Antonio. And then just play 4-4-2, and I can choose to bench boost if I want or not. But the 4-4-2 team would be Martinez, Robertson, Cancelo, Diaz, Kufal, Salah, De Bruyne, Fernandez, Souček, Antonio, and Chris Wood. The 8-goal machine, yeah, of course. And then I would have a bench boost if I were to use it of Johnston, who's got Wolves and West Ham. I would have Holding versus Newcastle, who could potentially get some points. I would have Rafinha, who plays against Brighton, and I would have Bamford, who plays against Brighton. So I would have one double game week player, which is a goalkeeper, and then 3 players that have single game weeks, but they all have pretty good single game weeks too. So, like, you know, Newcastle aren't very good. Holding can get a clean sheet, no problem. Let's say if Holding gets a clean sheet, Bamford ends up with, so if Holding gets 6 points, Bamford gets 6 points. You know, we'll say Rafinha gets 2, and Johnston ends up with 4 points because he concedes twice in both games, but at least gets some save points. That's 4 plus 2, which is 6 plus 6 and 6 for no hits, 18 points. I'll take that. That's not bad. I can obviously take a hit to bring in a double game week defender. One of those defenders could be Lowton, who's 4-4. Another double game week defender that we could also bring in is Target, but he is on 4 yellows as well. So if he gets a yellow versus City, then he can't play in the other game. So that'd be kind of a problem. And then I'd basically be looking at Target versus Target versus Man City, and then Holding versus Newcastle. And obviously you're going to take Holding versus Newcastle. Another thing that we could also do is obviously keep Holding, get rid of Bamford, and bring in Watkins. How much is Matty Cash? He has really good potential. He's also a yellow card, but I think he's got more than 5 yellow cards already. He's 5 million, I want to say. Let's see. Cash. Yeah, he's 5 million. How many yellow cards he's got this season? He's already had a suspension. He got suspended for the Burnley game. So 5 million. If I could stretch the cash that far, so if I had an extra 4 million, I would go Matty Cash probably. Just because he's, you know, I know he's going to play in both games, assuming he's not, you know, hit hard by COVID. And I know, you know, he can't get, I mean, he might get a yellow in one of those games probably, but at least I know that he's not going to get suspended for one of those games. Obviously, with Bruno's the other player that we obviously have that's a risk, you know, potentially, you know, getting a yellow, not playing the Fulham game. But again, you're not going to not go without Bruno Fernandes this week. You're not, right? Like, if you have him in your team, you're not getting rid of him. Like, there's nobody going, I should get rid of Bruno for Rashford. That's not what you're going to do. If anything, you'll have both. For budget midfielders, though, it's a bit slim pickings from what I remember. So I'm just going to look at 6 million and higher. So in terms of double game week players, I mean, McGinn plays twice. But is McGinn versus Villa and Newcastle better than Rafinha versus just Brighton? For a hit? Probably not. Gundogan would have been perfect, but again, I have 3 City players. Wish I had 5 City players. 3 City players. Lookman at 5 million has 2 game weeks, two games, and he's versus Chelsea and Man United. It's obviously not great for him. Why not him at 5-3? But does he start both games? And is he actually that good of a FPL asset? Probably not. Not really much else, to be honest. Got Brownhill, Fabinho, but these sorts of players are going to be playing like center back and stuff. So not really, really useful. Pereira has a double game week, but again, not ideal. Douglas Luiz, if you're just going to get Douglas Luiz, you might as well just get McGinn. Ross Barkley is an interesting shout, but I can't stretch the money to him, unfortunately. Unless I get rid of Bamford. So if I keep Rodrigo and get rid of Bamford, I could go to Ross Barkley. But again, he's had his injury problems as well, so could be a bit iffy. But if I were to do that, so it'd be like Bamford, restore, Antonio, and then I can go up to, actually I can go up to a 6.2 million midfielder. So let's see what it would look like. Midfielders 6.5. So Ward-Prowse only has one. Bowen I couldn't get because I have 3 West Ham players. Same with Fornals. Could have had Foden, but again, you know, he's not an option because we have 3 City. El Ghazi maybe, but is he going to start both? Who knows? And then it's just back to the same old crew. So yeah, with the current team structure that I have, it's not really looking too good at the moment in terms of making any drastic changes overall. Just because of the fact that how my money's tied up in basically 3 big players. If Robertson, you know, if I had changed him out last week, then maybe there was something. So if I had gone for Wan-Bissaka, who had gotten me an extra 2 points, right? He would have been in a 5-4. We could have then gone. We could have gone Rodrigo all the way up to like Cavani or somebody like that. We could have gone to a different defender. There's many different things we could do. I mean, we could still technically do Robertson out for Wan-Bissaka, but again for a -4, -8, then the bench boost just isn't looking. You know, when you're starting to do -8s, -12s, and you're bench boosting, it's kind of just ruining things, really. I think my one transfer is definitely going to be Rodrigo, unless, you know, for whatever reason Bamford's out, then I know Rodrigo's going to play up front for Antonio. And then it's just a consideration of, do I get rid of Holding for another, you know, double game week defender? So it's probably going to be like Loughton, maybe Peters from Burnley. Like, so if I look at defenders, so obviously you have Target, but again, if he gets a yellow, if Taylor was playing, that'd be nice, but I don't think he is going to be fit, and again, is coming off an injury, so not ideal. Not looking at Fulham defenders at all, even though Robertson does get forward, or Robinson, or whatever his name is. I think he's like 4 something, 4-4, yeah, so he's played 90 minutes every game and done quite well. But again, he's first Chelsea and Man United. Shaw, I don't think is going to play both games, but he would be probably decent. Lindelof's not going to play both games. Loughton, I know, definitely will, almost certainly. Balbuena can't get because he's a West Ham player, and we would have 3 with Antonio. It's a shame that Leeds doesn't have a double anymore. Courtney Hoss is not going to play anymore because what's his name is back, or should be back. I mean, the whole team should be back, but Konsa is back. Fuchs isn't going to play, obviously, or probably won't play. Yeah, Konsa. Yeah, he's going to be back for sure. The one player I'm intrigued about is Peters, and if he's going to play both games. I need to know what injuries Burnley have had, because he has been playing a lot more because of the injuries that they've had. If Charlie Taylor's like out, like for a couple of weeks or so, then you know Peters is definitely going to play in at left back, almost certainly. Or if you know like one of their main midfielders is out, then he's probably going to play. Probably the safer pick is Loughton. And then now we're on like page 3. We're getting really scraping the barrel here. If you're looking for a West Ham defender, Dawson is probably a good pick potentially as well. But obviously I would have, I think the best, West Ham, Kufal, Souček, Antonio. Can't really go wrong there. If I knew Antonio Rudiger was playing both games, like let's say like somebody was out, then he would probably be the next person to step in. Could be an option, but again, I think Lampard said that everyone's fully fit. I think Tete should be back in as well, so he could potentially be an option, but again, it's Fulham defense, not great. Antonio Kufal Cresswell, yeah, I mean that's fine too. And now we're really scraping the barrel here at page 4. I mean, if I knew which Liverpool if there was a, like I knew which of the Liverpool defenders. So where's Liverpool? Because Matip is potentially out for both. If I knew like Phillips was gonna play for sure both games, or if I knew Reece Williams was gonna play both games for sure, then you could bring one of those in, no problem. Because I still have a Liverpool slot available. But to be fair, I wouldn't mind starting 11 West Ham players. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Probably not a problem, I wouldn't think. It says here James and Christensen are back for Fulham trip. So I think Thiago Silva and Zuma are fine. Yeah. I think Chelsea literally have a clean bill of health, except Conte, who is, well, it's not because he's unfit, but it's because he's suspended. So probably see like Jorginho or somebody come in into that position. Another thing is, if I knew Giroud was like gonna potentially play, I could easily go to him potentially. It's a bunch of different ways you can slice it, really. But I mean, it's a bit tricky. A lot of players to potentially choose from. Kovacic, Mount, and Havertz. Probably Kovacic. Who do they play? Fulham? Yeah, they'll probably go with a more attacking minded. He may go Jorginho, Mount, and Havertz, maybe. I don't know what it is. He just doesn't favor Kovacic this season as much. Even though I thought Kovacic was supposed to be like the best. I mean, I thought he was really good. And he was Chelsea's player of the season, so. bit of a strange one, that one. So yeah, that would be my my bench boost if I was going to do it. So I think my transfers are pretty straightforward this week. It's definitely gonna be Antonio in, assuming he's pass fit. If he's not pass fit, then I think probably Watkins comes in. Peter checking goal. Oh my goodness, yeah, that's possible. That'd be quite funny to see, to be honest. Just Peter Cech just back in goal with his helmet on. It's not even really a helmet, it's more of just a pillow, like a cushion. Is he on fantasy? Maybe. No, he's not. Because I don't think he's actually in the Premier League team. Excuse me. No, he's not. I can see it right here. It's Mendy, Kepa, Caballero, and a guy called Zyger. Carlo Zyger. Yeah, that's the one. He's 4 million. Imagine if he was playing, that'd be quite good. But yeah, I think my transfers are going to be pretty straightforward. Let's actually check just before we log off here. Just refresh the price rises, which should be happening in about half an hour's time. So players that are close to a price rise. So Foden might be going up. Mitchell, Bamford are close-ish. Antonio's on the rise, but won't rise tonight. But could rise tomorrow potentially. De Bruyne is close or getting up there, but probably only Foden if anyone. Maybe Mitchell, maybe Bamford. And then in terms of players that could go down in price, we're looking at Gabriel from Arsenal, Vardy, Zaha, Llorente, Matip, Dunn, McCarthy, Dan, Ryan, Lamptey, Jack Robinson, Konsa. Ooh. If Konsa went down, that would be perfect. Because he'd be 4-6. Does he? How many yellows does he have? I don't think he has very many yellows. Yeah, he's only got 1 yellow card this season. And we know he's going to play. If Konsa goes down, he could be the one. We just have to back him getting a clean sheet versus Newcastle. But I mean, if Holding gets a clean sheet versus Newcastle, he can too, and then he has the extra fixture versus City to potentially do something. Get more points, whatever. But we'll see. Who else? Grealish could potentially go down. That could be good later on. And then people who are close is Bertrand, Barkley, Greenwood, Matty Longstaff, Balbuena, Walker, Ferguson, Masuaku, a bunch of players that nobody really wants. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. Let's move it over to the big screen here. So, that's going to do it for our Game Week 19 preview stream. Hope you all enjoyed it. Like I said, these streams are done over on Twitch. So if you're watching the VOD over on YouTube, make sure to come over here and follow us on Twitch and catch us for the live streams and be interactive in the chat, because the more interactivity we have, the more people that we have discussing FPL, and that's what we all want at the end of the day. We want more opinions, we want more information, we want more informed decisions, as it were. So make sure to give us a follow on all our platforms so that you can keep as up to date with all the content as possible, as well as you know, for all the stuff involved. See you tomorrow, Zaka. Hopefully you can join it. See you tomorrow for me. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, it'll be whatever time zone you guys would be in. That's gonna be pretty crazy, but yeah, it is what it is, because it's already the next day for you guys, because it's like what, 1 or 2 in the morning. But yeah, make sure to come check us out on all the platforms. Also, 2:04. Yeah, there you go. So you're 1 hour ahead of UK, because UK time is no, 2 hours ahead of UK time. No, 1 hour. You're 1 hour ahead of UK, because UK is 4 hours ahead of me. So UK is 1:04 in the morning right now, and you're 1 hour ahead of that because you're further east, whichever way east is. But yeah, make sure to come check us out. We'll be live 1 hour before the deadline, so whatever that is in your time zone. I'm terrible at doing time calculations, but the deadline is 7 a.m. my time, which is, so that means we're going to be up 6 a.m. my time. That is 4 hours behind UK time, so that means we're going to be up at 10 a.m. UK time for the stream. So yeah, make sure to check us out, and we'll see you in the next one. And hopefully you all had a good blank game week as well, because I'm certainly happier than what I would have been, even with a little red arrow. So we will see you all in the next stream, and also make sure to check out our video tomorrow. It's gonna be I haven't decided yet, but it's either gonna be a like, what would I do if I had the certain chips available. I think it's gonna be like, if I had, like, you know, Leeds players, but I didn't want a bench boost, what would my free hit team, or like my best 11 would look like for this game week. So make sure to check that out, or it could be something else. I don't know. We'll figure it out. There's gonna be a video tomorrow. It's gonna be something. Then we're gonna do the deadline stream as per normal. So that's gonna be the video for that day, because that's gonna be the VOD. And then on Sunday we're gonna do the tactics talk for United versus Liverpool. So make sure to check that out. But yeah, I've been rambling on enough. Thanks for watching, and until the next one, see ya.